Now, as a PT and coach, one of the number one questions I get asked is, what is the best exercise for whatever goal that person has in mind? So today I thought I'd go through my number one core exercise for cyclists to help you increase power, reduce risk of injury, and generally help you ride stronger for longer. Feel free to click on the timestamps below to skip to a certain part of the video if you're looking to just have a look at the exercise and how many times and how many reps and sets, all that good stuff you should be doing. But first we're going to cover why is a strong core even important and how does that relate to cycling? There are two main purposes to the core. The first one is to kind of keep the spine nice and safe. Obviously if we didn't have any core, our midline will be all flopping, waving around, we won't be able to keep our spine straight or hold any posture. Another function of the core is to help transfer force from one area of the body to another area of the body. So for example, if you're holding onto your handlebars on your bike, you're standing up, pushing the power down through your legs, you probably notice that you pull side to side on the handlebars with your arms. Having a nice strong core helps you transfer that power or sort of mitigate any loss of power from swinging side to side with the hands, driving that power down through the legs. So having a strong core just means you're going to be more efficient as a cyclist and means that you're not going to lose power by your sort of core giving way in any movements that you might be doing on the bike. So having a strong core and strong abs is great. You know, if you want to look good, of course we need to reduce the layer of fat on top of the abs if we want a six pack. But having a strong core is super important on the bike, but also just in daily life as well. And if you look at a cyclist or yourself from the front or from the back while cycling, you might notice your hips kind of moving and swaying up and down. That is slightly due to mobility, but also having strong obliques and strong hips and a strong core will mean that when you push down on the pedal, all that power goes through the pedal instead of you pushing down on the pedal and then your hips swaying from side to side as well, losing some of that power you're trying to put down. So the one exercise we're going to go through in just a minute, it's not a crunch, it's not a plank, it's none of those kind of exercises you see a lot of people doing, and the fact that people do, you know, crunches to get a six pack is, you know, another video altogether. But the exercise we're going to go through will just help you maintain that good solid core posture either when you're standing up on the bike or trying to put that power down while seated, and help you transfer that power through the pedals as much as possible and help mitigate any loss of power further up the body. So that's the theory and why having a strong core is important, but let's go through to the lounge and I'll show you that number one exercise. So here we have it. It's called the side plank leg raise. This hits not only the core and the obliques, which are on the side of the core, but also the glutes too, which all in all is going to help you feel more stable on the bike, increase the amount of power you can put through the pedals, and actually also help protect you from lower back pain while cycling as well. So it's a all-in-one core and glute exercise, which is awesome. So this is a textbook version here. I've got my knee, got my elbow on the floor. I'm starting kind of with my hip dropped towards the floor, then driving my hip up towards the ceiling, as well as raising my knee towards the ceiling at the same time. Really trying to squeeze my oblique, squeeze my core, and really squeeze that leg and squeeze my glute up towards the ceiling. This is quite tough though, so if it is too tough, you can rein it back and make it easier in two ways to make sure you can hit the prescribed reps, which we'll go through in a minute. So you can just forget the leg lift and just kind of pulse the hips up and down as I'm showing now. That makes it slightly easier and is probably a really good starting point for the majority of people. If that's still too tough, you can just stay in a static position. This is the classic side plank, which we've all probably seen before, so feel free if you are a complete beginner to start on this version, but ideally when we're cycling there is some movement there, so if you can pulse the hips up and down, that's awesome as well. To make it tougher, if the sort of standard variation is a little bit too easy for you for the prescribed reps, which we'll again go through in a minute, you can make it tougher in sort of three ways really, but the first of which you just kind of extending out onto the feet. So forget the knees, you're now onto the feet. Again, you can stay in a static position while out onto the feet because it does make it quite a lot tougher. You can then also pulse without the leg up and down, so just pulsing your hips up and down towards the floor and towards the ceiling. Again, when you're at the top, really trying to squeeze that oblique, really trying to feel that working. And then if you're an absolute tank and an absolute beast, you can even raise the leg up towards the ceiling as well as the hips. But this is blooming hard, so don't worry if you never get to this version for the prescribed reps. I don't think I can. But pick whichever variation is right for you, where you can feel it in the glute and especially in the oblique more. And again, you're not going to feel it in the glutes really if you're not raising the leg up and down. So really make sure you can feel it in the obliques, and if you are raising the leg up, can feel it in the glutes. And make sure your form is correct. Make sure your body's in one nice straight line from your sort of top of your shoulders all the way down towards your knees or your feet if you're on to your feet. So that is the exercise, but before we go on to how often you should be doing it, how many reps, all that good stuff, please do let me know down in the comments below. Do you do any core training currently? And if you do, what does it comprise of? How often should we be doing this core exercise? Well, 3 times a week is probably a good happy medium. Any more, you're probably going to get some benefit, but not too much. And any less, you're not sort of building up enough volume to really start to benefit from that. I would say complete minimum is twice a week. If you just do it once a week, you'll improve your strength, but then that improvement will disappear by the time you do it once again the next week. So twice is a minimum, but ideally 3. If you can do more, probably no more than 5 times a week. Otherwise, you're just going to absolutely knacker yourself out and your core will kind of burn out. And when should you do this exercise? Well, as some of my other videos previously have shown, doing sort of weight training after tougher rides is when you should really be doing them. You want your hard days to be hard and easy days to be easy. You don't want to do an easy day on the bike and then do some sort of core exercise. That will kind of negate how easy the bike was. You want to do sort of these core exercises on your hard day, only going to take you 5 or 10 minutes. So do your hard session on the bike, then straight into your core exercises, then you're good to go. If you do that 2 or 3 times a week, should be onto a winner. 8 to 10 reps is a good starting point, but you want to make sure you pick a variation that's correct for you. Too easy, you're not going to get the right benefit. Too tough, and again, if you're trying to do 8 repetitions, you might not get the correct form. So make sure you can keep great form, 8 to 10 repetitions. Once that gets too easy, move up the variation and make it a little bit tougher. Of course, you can go for less or you can go for more, but just make sure that towards the end of each set you do, you would only have around about 2 repetitions left in the tank if you did carry on. Any more, you're not going to get the benefit you're looking for. 3 to 4 sets is also a good starting point. Any more, probably not going to get too much more benefit than the 3 or 4 sets, but any less, you're not going to build up the required volume to help increase your core strength. So 3 or 4 sets and around about 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes rest between each set. We want to be fully recovered to attack each set with maximum intensity. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you found this video interesting and you now can start to incorporate that one core exercise into your routine. Please let me know down in the comments below what your core routine is, or if you have one, or if you do anything for core strength. It's always interesting to hear what other people are doing, and if you have any exercises that you really like, let everybody else know as well. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe for a new video every week, and I'll see you guys in the next one.